Hey guys, I do not know what was going on. I apologize. I guess several of you couldn't get on because I hadn't started it yet. I don't know. I was having technical difficulties. So we're going to dive right in if y'all are ready. Um, I've got the call from yesterday pulled up. I've watched a little over half of it. It's content we've gone over one other time. I want you to be thinking while you're listening to what she has to say. It's going to be Jennifer Leith. And I want you to be thinking about whether what she has implemented on her team is something that is of interest to you, because it would require to be doing 3-day trial groups, which I don't mind doing. I don't mind hosting them or whatever, but it needs to be a collective response as to whether we want to do it or not, because it doesn't need to be something that I say, hey, y'all want to do this, and everybody says yes, and then I start posting and we don't have new people coming in watching. We don't have people participating or whatever like that, because then I'll be like, well, that was a big flop, and nobody wants to be we don't want to need to be wasting any time on anything that everybody doesn't think is a good idea. So I have a couple announcements. They're very, very quick. First of all, I made a post about the new email that came out about Consistency Club. That information, first of all, kind of overwhelmed me with corporate's generosity. They just offer us really fun stuff all the time. So that would be something that's worth reading. It's pretty exciting. I won't go into it because it's pretty much anywhere. You can go look for it. It's on the team page. It's in your emails, all that good stuff. Also, we're going to be starting an event in February. Not an event. I'm sorry. I'm going to be doing something in our team page in February that I want you to be looking for. That's going to be business building skills type stuff. And it's not going to be in the Beauty and Inside Out group. It's not for prospects. It's for you guys. So keep your eyes out. I'm sitting here thinking, I think Saturday is February 1st, if I have that right in my head. And I don't know. I haven't looked it over well enough to see if it's something that's okay to start on a Saturday. I kind of think it will be, but just in case it's not, it will start on the Monday, more than likely. So anyway, keep your eyes out for that. I know that when a group has just been used, like I go through seasons of, I'll be using our butterfly page for announcements and Q&A. And that's what it's been for a long time. And then we use these Zooms for training. I am going to do a training series though during February, or it's going to be a team effort series basically in there. So if you didn't know to be looking out for it, you wouldn't be looking out for it. So that's why I'm announcing it. And yeah, the Consistency Club thing. So now we're going to go ahead and jump on over. I'm going to switch browsers really quick so I can play the other Zoom. All right. Hang on one second here. Okay, this is the same trouble I was having earlier, so y'all give me a second. It's like it didn't completely load or something. Oh.
Your resident piglet.
Resident piglet. The same, doing the same thing. Okay, let me look and see what the.
Well, I mean, you can switch over, but.
This? Try it that way?
Normally that's the slower Wi-Fi. But...
I know. It's like Chrome is not wanting to load. And I know it has to be on Chrome, right?
Yeah, it has to be different.
Yeah, go ahead and quit it and turn back on. Sorry, we'll get this figured out, I think.
Yeah, I'll just listen to your Jeopardy music.
Okay. Looks like it will do. Can you email me the link? Because that's really what I'm trying to get is the link.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
let's
the
do
link's
it like
right here.
this.
I mean,
Do it. Okay.
you got Facebook open somewhere?
Yeah, but it's going to pull it up in Safari.
Just for the link.
Okay.
You just want to copy the link?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's what you're saying. Maybe like this.
Yeah, it'll be your messages, right? First one.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
You have to open it.
I will open the message. Okay. Sorry, guys. I think we're really close to having it figured out. Okay, like that, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Chrome. Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Something doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
I wonder.
Okay.
I don't know if I can play it on mine.
Okay. He's going to try really quick playing it on his. I think if you just hit share screen and do it like that, it'll work. Do you need me to send it to you? Okay. Yeah, we were in here working on this way early. It's not like we waited till the last minute. We don't know why this is happening, so. I think you can leave the meeting on, you may have to swipe through the different screens. Becky, did you figure it out? Oh, looks like she figured it out. Okay. I probably should start this there. What? Okay. Okay. Jetty took control and now I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Okay, that's good. Praise thee. Thank you. Thank you. Well. You're going to have to unmute yourself maybe. Nope. No, I'm just going to say a really quick prayer. Jetty, can you unmute yourself? Did you try that?
Young, like seriously, comment.
Can y'all hear it?
In the comment section. That collagen is like, man,
Really?
Yeah, Benjamin Button's working here. Seriously, yes, totally.
Thank you so much.
You do look like 12. So that's good. She's older than 12. Yes, she is gorgeous. I know. Yes. Yes. See, they're all agreeing with me. All right. So first of all, we just want to thank you all for being here, and we want to thank you all for everything that you do for Plexus. We want to ensure that you are staying in the loop about our training calls. So make sure that you have texted the words "train me" to Plexus. And Canada, we are still sorting out whatever the little situation is there. We 100% appreciate you giving us the feedback that it doesn't seem to be working in Canada. So we are still working through that. But the rest of you guys, yes, Lisa loves Train Me. I know. And for those of you that are unaware, the training calls are recorded, and you can listen to those calls at any time after we release them, which is typically 24 hours after the webinar, because it takes a while for us to get the file and then for the file to do something called rendering. And we send that out within 24 hours to anyone who registered via Zoom. but also you will get it right into your recording link in your back office. So we want you to know that there are 3 ways to access the recording: the Zoom, the Train Me text, and also in the training calendar, So we want you to know that. Okay, so here's the deal. This business depends on you being able to share Plexus and help people have a Plexus experience. And sometimes people are ready right away. They're like, I'm in, let's just go ahead and get me a welcome pack. But in other cases, and I would say in most cases, wouldn't you say, Jennifer, most people want some sort of experience first?
Sorry, I got distracted because people were saying, we can't see Jennifer's face. And then I'm like, they can't see my face? What do I do if they can't see my face? Can you ask me that question again?
They are probably watching on their phones, so they have to switch between the slides and your face. So
I'm here for you.
We'll get you a little Metaburn and you'll be okay. Okay, so what we want to active. What we want to know is, do you agree that some people need to have a product experience first before they are ready to buy a welcome pack? Some people will say, yeah, I'm in, let's get this thing going. But a lot of people need to have a product experience first. Yes, right?
Yeah, I mean, I did.
Yeah. So we want to teach you today how to keep your funnel full using 3-day challenge packs. And Jennifer has a really nice outline set up for you guys. This will definitely be one of those calls that you want to see multiple times. So we will release it to you. Do not worry. We will make it available to you. But Jennifer, I'm going to just stop talking right now. And I'm going to let you take it from here, my friend.
All right. Thank you so much. And, I'm not necessarily your systems girl. I'm not going to have all of these bullet points unless you're talking about 3-day challenges. And here's why. I'm the emotion person. I'm the heart person. Well, the only way that I get to use that part of me is if people are coming in the door. If I have people to love on, people to connect with. So I've got to get as many people in the door as possible. And I have to train my team to do the same thing. Well, 3-day challenges have given me a brand new opportunity. It's with very little fear, because we know mindset and thoughts, that has a really big effect on people building a business. Well, 3-day challenge packs, I'm going to explain all of this, reduces fear. So there's so much about this that's beneficial for your business. Plexus has always had trial packs, but those trial packs didn't come with an experience. And when people have an experience, it can create momentum. So let me explain all of that to you. But first, let me say this. Why do car dealerships let you test drive their car? I mean, in a way, they're kind of putting themselves at risk, right? They're letting someone drive their vehicle. Another question, why does Costco let you come in and try all these food samples, right? Think of that. Every time somebody gets to test something before they buy, it is a good thing. In fact, I wrote down another option about people test driving. It's an experience. I thought I had a really good example. Oh, 3 free visits to a gym. No wonder I didn't remember it. It was about a gym. You know how people will say, if you come to a gym, you can come 3 times for free. People offer free because they know if I can get you in the door, then I have the opportunity to show you what this really is. And that's what I want you guys to do using these 3-day challenge packs. First of all, most of the time when we are getting people in the door with Plexus, we're doing it because of a relationship. I'm all about that. It's about really digging in, spending time getting to know somebody. This could take a week if you're really good about communicating and being intentional, and it could take even longer than that. But relationship does take time. This, the 3-day challenge pack, it's kind of like speed dating because you can just go right for the ask. I have no shame in my game going right for the ask when it comes to a 3-day challenge pack because they're $19.95, free shipping. I don't feel guilty. And in fact, I want to share this I took screenshots of in the last week, all of the people that I've messaged to invite to do a 3-day challenge. And I want to share with you exactly what I said and what they said to me. It's so simple. Here we go. Ready? Hey girl, wondering, would you like to do a 3-day challenge with me? It's $19.95, free shipping. You get 4 products to use for 3 days, plus you get to have fun with me on a Facebook page. I said, you up for it? Question mark. Simple. I didn't go into the whole, did you know it has turmeric? We're in an energy crisis. Did you know that blood sugar, blah, 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 blah. I didn't explain any of it. I just said 4 products for 3 days. Guess what this one girl says? Sure. Simple. Sure. And all I responded was, yippee. It was a direct ask. I didn't overwhelm. I just wanted to include her. All right. Another one. I said, hey, Christine. I'm about to be vulnerable here because there's something in here you shouldn't know, but that's all right. I'll do it. Hey, Christine, we talked about plexus before, and then I never followed up. Sorry. Hey, real life people. I said, I have an idea. Why don't you just do a 3-day challenge with me? It's $19.95, free shipping, and it starts on February 3rd. Are you up for it? You get 4 products to try for 3 days. She comes back and says, what product? I said, Slim, Active, Lean, and MetaBurn. And then the next message, I put a parentheses. In English, that's just the pink drink, our natural energy drink, a whey protein powder, and an adaptogen product that helps with emotional eating and energy. She goes, okay. And she goes, literally, how do I get the money to you? How do I get it? Do you see that I did not sit there and go, your kids look so nice. I love those pictures of you on the beach. Those are good things to do to start connecting, but I didn't do that. I went straight for the ask. Why does this matter? Because if I'm going straight for the ask, if my team is going straight for the ask, because of Genevieve, I understand this funnel idea. I've never used that word until this beautiful woman walked into our company. But a funnel, I love it because if I'm filling my funnel with people that are interested in doing these 3-day challenges, and my team's doing that, and every single week we are running these challenges, we have people being brought in. They're having a great experience on the page. They're connecting. They're getting the idea. They're like, I get this now. I understand what this plexus thing is. If you do a good job and they love their experience, they're totally going to invite their friends to try it. They're going to go, I love that. I think my friend would love that, or my sister would love that. So every week this funnel is being filled. If you follow the system I'm going to show you, you give somebody a great experience, you coach them well, and then you close with them. And then they bring in their people. So not that I'm melodramatic or anything, but one more thing I want to share with you. I wrote this down and I kind of made my mind explode. I thought, if every week I brought in 4 people to a 3-day challenge, I think I could do that easily because it's a quick direct ask and people love it. It's simple. If I brought in 4 people and then I told those people to invite their 3 friends to the next week's challenge, and then those people told their 3 friends to have people come into the next week's challenge, that is 52 people in 3 weeks that have come in and tried these products. And if I closed with them, the potential for points is 260 points. That gets me so excited because that means momentum. All right, can you tell that I love these things? I am going to break it down for you. I'm going to break it down for how you use the back, what you say, what you do each day. And if you do this regularly, it'll be just like nothing. You'll do it because it's second nature. You're just like, send this message. I know what to do. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. Your messages are all saved. You don't have to overthink this. You'll have the system down. Okay, so introducing how to fill your funnel with the 3-day challenge pack. So what we're going to do is I want you to know what you should be doing with people before the challenge even starts. So now I've told you to go for a direct ask. Do not be afraid. Short, simple. Hey, we're about to do a 3-day challenge. You could call it anything you want. 3 days to happiness, 3-day detox, 3 days to look like me, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. Invite, and close. Now, I'm going to give you the suggestion that I use, and you guys do what you feel is best. But for me, I like to stalk my people's tracking. I want to know when that challenge kit is going to get to them. And the only way I know that is if I send it to them. This is how I do it. You guys decide how you want to do it. And it's so simple. I literally say, PayPal me, Venmo me, $19.95, and it's on its way. That allows me to go in check the tracking, and I will send a message and I'll say, oh my gosh, girl, it's going to be in your mailbox tomorrow. I am super excited. I'm giving her that feeling of passion that this is not just a money exchange. This is not just, okay, I got you to buy it, now moving on. I'm invested in this person. So I am stalking their tracking. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure on my phone, on my laptop, that I have downloaded and saved every graphic that I'm going to want to use to encourage and to pour into the person that said yes to me. Now, I have not spent enough time back here, and I've been digging around. If you go to plexusworldwide.com and click on, it's the 3-day guide, they have some of the best graphics. They have some of the best graphics with workouts that you can suggest to people. It is gold. You need to go check this out. Save everything that you see there on your phone under a file that's just called 3-Day Challenge Pack. Now you can also use graphics that maybe your team's created, or maybe you have a passion for something in particular. Maybe you have an amazing lean recipe that you want to save, and that way you can share when the time comes. Make sure that you know how you're going to share about these 3-day challenge packs. Here's a simple tip. Put it in your stories, put it in your Facebook posting. You could say, I've told my team, just take a picture of you holding up 3 fingers and say, would you give me 3 days? Simple, right? If you are asking people to come to an event, to an experience, they are more inclined to want to say yes, because we're all looking for experiences. Everybody that's done these has had such a good time that it's a very easy thing for them to go and invite their people. There are videos, there are images, there's every tool that you're going to need, but you can't do this and be scrambling at the last minute. I want your toolkit full before this even gets off the ground. I want you, even if you don't think you're an organized person, I want you to value organization for this reason alone. I want you to put every person's name down that has said yes to you, that's doing the challenge with you, so no one falls between the cracks. Is that how you say that? No one falls in a crack? Whatever. So that you don't forget anyone, I want you to put, I sent them this. I followed up about this. There is a toolkit that I have made. It's day 1, day 2, day 3. And you need to make sure you've done all this with people, or make sure that you didn't already send something and send it again on accident, because we want to make this genuine and we want to make this connecting. Okay, so moving on, before your customer starts, do you see these 4 questions? I send a graphic that I've made with these 4 questions to the person as they're waiting for the challenge to start. Sometimes they're going to get their kit maybe 3 days before the actual 3-day challenge begins. Now, your team might be running these and you're plugging people into that. If not, if you don't know of one, I would encourage you and maybe some of your downline, sideline to get together, come up with a format, create what you want to have on this page, and I want you to also make, okay, so here's your 3-day challenge page, whatever you call it. Let's call it 3 days of joy. 3 days of joy. And this is the challenge page you're going to use to plug your people in that have said yes to doing this challenge. You're also going to make a 3 days of joy resource page. Every post that you put on here, you're going to put on the resource page to save. You're going to do this because you don't want to keep reinventing the wheel. You're going to have all the posts that you're using on here. You just have to copy and paste and throw back on here for your next 3-day challenge and your next 3-day challenge. So 3 days of joy, you're going to have these posts. You're going to work with people in your team. If you want to connect and empower people on your team, this is a great way. So I send this graphic to them as they're waiting for their challenge pack, and I ask them these 4 questions. Now, these are important to me, but maybe you have a question that you think they need to be asked. Make whatever graphic you want, but people love to talk about themselves. I mean, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And so when you ask them questions, it gets them engaged. But I also have a purpose behind this. The first one is, I say, do you drink coffee in the morning? The reason I ask that is because some people love their Slim first thing in the morning before breakfast. Well, I'm a coffee drinker. I'm not going to have a Slim first thing in the morning. It's just not going to happen. And that changes the regimen. For at least in my mind, being a very avid coffee connoisseur, I don't want the Slim first thing in the morning. I also ask them, are you sensitive to caffeine? And what I mean by that is, are you someone that if you have it too late in the day, maybe it would keep you up? I want to understand, how does your body do with caffeine? This is going to allow me to decide, when should they have their active? How many metaburns should they have? Should they wait a day before they start the metaburn? Maybe start it on day 2? I want to make sure that I have set them absolutely up for success so that I don't end up getting a message saying, hey, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to say anything because we don't live in a compliant world. I can't say everything I want to say. But if someone's having an experience that I could have prevented from happening all by a simple question, then it's worth it asking the question. I will answer questions about the coupon. I see that down there. But let's move on. Would you like to use the lean as a snack or as a meal? I ask them that question because it does matter when I create the regimen for them. If they want a whole meal, I'm going to encourage them to add certain things. I'm going to send them recipes. The snack, a lot of times people will literally just mix it with a certain type of milk of their choice or water, and that's simple. And then finally I say, what are your goals? And I really need to know that because I'm basically going to use them against them later on. I have to know their goals so that I could use them against them. So great to say it that way. So now that I've sent them that graphic and I'm building up anticipation, waiting for that challenge kit to arrive, I actually get really gutsy. And I'm going to be honest, I get a little nervous because I'm like, man, are they going to think I'm trying to get them to sell Plexus? Because I'm actually wanting them to sell Plexus. But if I don't ask, no risk, no reward. And guess what? They trusted me enough to say yes. So they're going to trust my intention is good. And so I'm going to say, hey, would you be up for posting a picture of you with that challenge kit when it arrives? I bet you have friends and family. They'd love to do it with you. And if you'll do that, I'll send you a free sample of our new collagen product. Now that's what I say. If you don't want to send something, don't. But I would ask for them to do this because it's advertising their experience that they're about to walk into to all of their network, all of their audience. And maybe they'll have friends that will join in with them. And we know when people do things with their friends and their family, they tend to enjoy it more. It becomes an experience. I keep saying that word, but that's what we're trying to create here. It's not just a single person taking products, living on an island. This is about a bunch of people taking all these 4 products, all sharing their experience, and it's this group mentality. It's empowering. It's exciting. It creates this, I love this. This is the best thing ever. That's what we want people to say when they're using our products. Okay, moving on. The night before the challenge begins, here is what you're going to do. Right before you go to bed, you're going to send them a little inspirational graphic like, you matter, or nothing worth having comes easy, or one day at a time, sister. Like whatever Pinterest inspirational graphic that you want to send them, you're going to send it to them. Like, you got this, or brave people make brave choices, whatever you want to send. And then say this, thank you for trusting me. I'm going to tag you in day 1's post in the morning, and this is going to be fun. So now you've said thank you. You've let them know that the day 1 post is where they're going to start, and you're going to take care of them. You're going to tag them, and that you're excited to be doing this with them. Now, make sure they're on that 3-day challenge page. This is really important because if they're not on it, it's no longer an experience. It's just products at home. Although I will tell you, this speaks so much to Plexus culture. For the longest time, I would send people challenges that were just trial packs. And then I would write on the outside of the package, the little bubble mailer, I'd write, you're worth it, with like happy face and like your sunshine and joy and, you know, all the things that I wanted to say to communicate to them that this wasn't just me selling them something. It was me inviting them in to what has been a complete adventure, a total life change, something that's elevated the way I think about life, the way I think about food, the way I think about my body. I want that for them, and I needed to communicate it. But now, because of the way the 3-day challenge packs work, they come with that communication. It's upside down. Fantastic. Love yourself. You're courageous. Celebrate small victories. Turn your dreams into goals. All of that communicates what I want them to know. And what I want them to know is these are tools to get you on your journey to feeling stronger, happier, better, more in control. And I want to be the person that introduces you to that. I want to partner with you in that. So this is a great way to communicate culture and purpose. So when they get this, they're on that page. You've told them tomorrow's the big day. It's about to begin. So what happens on day 1? I am going to send them a graphic as a quick reminder. Drink your water. You can go on Pinterest and search water graphics, save it in that file called 3-Day Challenge Pack. And that way you have it saved, it's ready to go. You're going to remind them, hey, I didn't take it seriously when they said to drink my water, but guess what? Our products are full of antioxidants. You got to drink water. You got to flush. So I send that to them as a quick reminder. And what I feel that communicates to someone is, we are about this holistic experience. I want you to do what your body needs you to do for it. So when I remind them to drink the water, it's part of the whole coaching experience, okay? So I've sent them that message. They're ready to go. I'm going to tag them in day 1's post. And through the day, they're doing their thing, taking their products. They might be messaging you. And here's your goal for day 1. At some point in the day, you are going to, maybe you have your pink drink. Maybe you're about to take your Metaburn. Maybe you just made an amazing lean shake. Sometime in the day, I want you to show them that you walk the walk, that you are a product of the product. And what you're going to do is literally take a picture, you with your drink, you with your smoothie, click, and send it to the person doing the challenge and say, I just had my lean shake. Have you had yours yet? You're showing them, I take these products too. I love them. Now, are you loving them? Have you taken them? That's your day 1 connection point. So I want to make sure that you guys know that this toolkit will be available, walking you through what you do prep day 1, day 2, day 3. Why do I want you to know what to do? Because I don't want you to put someone in a group for 3 days and expect the group to enlighten them. I want you to show them that you are wanting to walk with them, that this is an experience and that you're by their side. You didn't just bring them in to leave them to the wolves. You want to be there. You want to experience it with them. It is a joy and it's an honor to be trusted. So you're going to send that selfie of you with one of your products from that day. And then at the end of the day, just ask, did you have any questions? And I'll have you know that these 3-day challenge packs give you some really great tips for things to put on your 3-day challenge pages. So on our page, at the end of that first day, we say, share a win, any win. It could be anything. Hey, I decided to park far away, so I had to walk further into the store. Or I could have had the second cookie, but I didn't. Some win. I'm not even going to introduce the opportunity for them to say something negative because it's so easy to say something negative about anything. What's hard is to focus on the positive. And if I get them focusing on the positive, what they focus on expands. And that is our goal. So I want them to share a win from day 1. And here's another thing I'm going to encourage you guys in. Whatever page you're doing this on, take the time to comment on people's comments. If someone says, I never drink water, water grosses me out, but today, for the first time ever, I drank 2 full bottles of water, somebody has to go and say, I see you, I hear you, I affirm you, and I cheer you on. Someone has to go and invest in that comment. Because when that person feels good, they're going to go and invite people to come in to feel good too. So the better you treat people, the longer they stay, the more they bring in their friends and family. Make it a concerted effort to make sure that no comment is left behind, okay? So you've ended day 1. This person's had a great experience. Now, day 2 comes along. You're going to tag them in that day 2 post to get them started. On our page, we end up doing 3 posts a day. The first post is a tip, something that they can do for the day. It might be lean recipes. It might be about the slim and the active together. It might be about how to do something or how to go through detox. There's all sorts of things you can do for a tip. Middle of the day, we always give a little product spotlight, like why would you want active? What is it for? How does it work? And then we end the day with the share a win that I just mentioned. So you've tagged them in day 2, and then moving on, what you're going to do is send them maybe midday a testimony. So you can find testimonies. You perhaps have them on your team page. You can also go to the Plexus Ambassador community page. And if you click on the testimony tab, it looks like right now there's 160 testimonies you can choose from. Grab one of the testimonies. You can screenshot it. You can copy and paste it. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to say to your friend that's doing the challenge, I'm about to send you a story that I just read, and it made me think of you. Now, how could it have made me think of them? Because they've told me their goals, and I know what their goals are, so I'm going to find a testimony that's going to speak into that. Maybe the person said, I'm so tired of struggling with worry. So I'm going to find a testimony about someone talking about having a triumph over that. Someone might say, I'm so tired of carrying around these extra 15 pounds. I might look for a weight loss testimony. I'm going to speak into their specific need. I'm going to send that to them, and then I'm going to say, I'm going to message you in a couple minutes because I want to hear if you did relate to it and what did you relate to. That's not just, I'm going to send it to you and that's it. Every message you send is like throwing or serving a ball, like tennis. Every time. You're doing it with the expectation it's going to come back, and then you send it back. And the only way that works is if you give action items and if you ask questions. You can't make statements, and what you really can't do is make it about you. I know when I first started Plexus, I felt this, and this is what I did, and then No, it's about them. So everything about them. Make this about them, and then they will love it so much, they will join, and they'll be your next double diamond. Like, quote me on that, okay? That's how I'm feeling about it. So day 2, I told you to tag them in that post and then send them a testimony and get into a conversation with them about how did they relate to it. And basically, you're opening the door to them knowing that other people have had the same dreams and hopes and goals, and they've had success, and they could too. And in fact, this would be a great time for some type of vision casting and say, can you picture you making that after picture? Or can you picture you having that story to share? Imagine the amount of lives that you could change just with a story like that. That is, inspiration is so underestimated. When you inspire somebody, you have actually given them the gift of lighting a fire. When someone's had a fire lit inside of them, they are so much stronger. They are so much more likely to have positive things happening. It's all about that law of attraction. So we are feeding into people, giving them that positive experience. All right, moving on. I hope you guys are loving this, because to me, if I know what I need to do, I can do anything for 3 days. Could you keep this up if someone signed up for 30 days? You might check in once a week, and that person is not getting that tailored experience. That's what's so fun about this, because I think I could do anything for 3 days. And then if you think about if they sign up, if they get a welcome pack, and right now with the $99 welcome packs giving you 5 points, you think about what one person could end up being in terms of income. It's very effective for you. The amount of hours you're putting into this person versus what you're making on that, it actually turns out to be a really great investment of time. But I don't want you to just think of that. I want you to think a month from now, 5 months from now, that person you invested in joins, goes to silver, or gets to silver rather, and then just think long term. Think about the future, what this one decision is going to cause for you and this ripple effect in your business. Because if you treat this person a certain way and they sign up someone, duplication, when done right, they will do that same thing for their people. They do exactly what you did. They just literally repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. That's what they do, and that's what you want them to do. All right, now let's finish off day 2 with this. It's going to be a comment about their goals, and it's also going to be bringing up that $20 coupon. Now, let me give you a little bit of information that you're probably wondering. Right now, the coupons that are coming, they expire in March. We are going to indefinitely carry these Renew You Welcome Packs. There's no end date for them currently. So right now, it says that they expire in March. Going forward, there will still be a coupon in these 3-day challenge packs that will expire 30 days from the day that they receive their challenge pack. So just know that going forward. So this vocabulary, this verbiage is still going to work for you. So this is when, remember when I told you we're going to use their goals against them? It sounds so funny, but we're going to use their goals against them by saying, hey, remember those goals that you told me about? In fact, I want to share this with you because it was one of the most exciting experiences for me because of how it turned out. I'm looking this up, sorry, I thought I had it saved. I had this friend that I actually met her in a hot tub in Utah at a hotel, but that's just like a whole other story. Anyhow, I have been trying to get this woman to say yes to me for 8 million years. I feel like I've done every song, every dance, every video, every single thing, and nothing ever got her to say yes until, are you ready for this? This has been one of my absolute most favorite stories. So I said, November 12th, hey sister, would you be up for doing a 3-day challenge with me? I know we talked about the products before, $19.95, free shipping. And then I said, that's my love language. And then I said, what do you say? And she said, yes. I responded, I just died. I mean, I did die because I was like, she said yes. So I was so excited. She sent me the money. I sent her everything I just told you about. I sent her her tracking. I sent her the water graphic that I mentioned as I was building up, getting her ready for her product to arrive. And then once it came, I did everything I told you. I created a regimen. I made a graphic with her name. I said, Cynthia's 3-day challenge regimen. And I just went on and I used an app. And I said, drink your Slim at this certain time. I knew what to tell her because I asked her those 4 questions. I just decided, hey, I think this is what will work best for you. And then I also tell them, remember, this is customizable. You do what works for you. As long as you're using the products, you're killing it. And I sent her that. I sent her the water graphic. I did everything I'm telling you. And I'm so excited to tell you that when I brought up her goals, I said, remember those goals you told me? You told me you wanted energy to get that Zumba certification. I'm like, why do you want to do that? But anyways, remember that? Remember when you said you wanted to lose weight? And remember when you said you wanted to work on your marriage and make it better? She told me all of that in vulnerability, and I used it against her. I said, remember when you said all that? Well, Zumba needs energy. That's why you need Plexus Active. I said to lose weight, you need to take care of your metabolism and other non-compliant things. And that's why you need blank. And finally, I said, you want to work on your marriage? Let's work on your mood. And I said, can I get an amen? And I said, you need Vital Biome. I was able to match her need with a Plexus product, match the need with a tool. It was simple to do. And she's like, okay, I want to learn more about it. How can I learn more about Vital Biome? How can I learn more about a Plexus Active? It opened doors for conversations. And then I'll tell you the next step, actually. I'm getting ahead of myself. So I have basically ended that day reminding her, these are your goals, and I want you to get the best out of your $20 coupon. And so I've just kind of planted a seed there. I'm not going to close. I just planted a seed. All right. So now I am going to tag them in day 3's post. And I know that this is a commitment, but guys, the commitment's worth it. The fruit from this is you're filling your funnel with people constantly every week, and your people are filling their funnel constantly every week. So there's no loss of people. There's always someone else. Next, bringing them in. If I can get that door open and get them in, I know I can get them to fall in love with Plexus, and I know I can get them to stay. But I just got to get them in the door. That's why I want you guys out there getting these 3-day challenge packs into people's home. I want them to take this in their purse to work and pull it out. And I want someone to go, what is that? I'm so glad you asked. That's what I want. This is going to do so much for your business if you will use it. Again, I challenge you to do it every single week for a whole month and tell me that your business doesn't grow. So day 3, we've tagged the person in the post, and then middle of the day, your job is to go and tell them basically your why. And you're going to make a quick little video. You can type it up if that makes you feel uncomfortable, but it is so simple. You can even, in your Facebook Messenger, click on the camera and just do this quick little message. You could Marco Polo them, whatever it is that you want to use. All you're going to say is this: I don't know if I've ever told you why I use Plexus. And you're going to quickly tell them, and you're going to make sure to say hot button words that connect with them. If you know they're a mom of littles, you're not going to talk about how it's helped with your aching knees. You're going to talk about how it's helped you stay calm and not want to take naps every day. You're going to say the things, the true things that relate to them that you have also experienced. You're trying to find common ground, commonality, super important so that they can relate to you. They can feel like you understand them, that you get where they are, that you felt it and you know what you found in Plexus. All right, moving on. This is when the close comes. So it would be all for naught if you didn't close. If you just left them to their own defenses and said, I hope you had a great time. So nice to see you. No, that was not what all this work was for, okay? It'd be like working out every day for a year and not wearing the bikini. Ridiculous. It's time to wear the bikini. You're on day 3. I'm ready for you guys to close this, all right? So I want you to read this with me. I said, I still can't thank you enough for trusting me with my 3-day challenge. I won't lie. I was super excited when you said yes. So now we're going to move them into their next step. I say, those goals, I appreciate you sharing them with me. I know I have tools that will help you. So let's talk about doing this for 30 days. Remember, you've got a $20 off coupon. And then share with them those welcome packs that $20 coupon works on. Just save them to your phone. Say you basically got these options and they're the best products that we have. So win-win. If that person says, I don't know, say, you know what? Can I call you so we can talk about it? And here's the truth. You can try so hard to communicate in a way that's connecting through Messenger and through text. And some people are amazing at it, but it's not easy. There is something beautiful that happens when you get on the phone and you can talk to somebody. I personally sometimes feel like I'd rather gouge my eyes out than get on the phone. However, it is important. And because my business is important because it gives me the ability to make a difference. I will get on the phone. I will do it. So I get on the phone and say, I'm thinking that you just need to go for it. They hear my voice. You had such a great time. And you know what? Also, you could be inviting your friends into the 3-day challenge. What do you think? I don't know. I'm not so sure. I mean, how much is it going to cost me? And then you're going to get into these objections and you should be ready for those. I expect them. Don't be alarmed. Expect them and be ready to stay in a positive place so that they stay positive. Moving on. They might say to you, I don't know, is there a monthly requirement? Am I going to have to get it every single month? Say, you don't have to get it. You get to get it. When people start Plexus, they have 60 days to try the products. And in that time, can you just imagine how much would happen in your body? This is going to be so good. You're going to get that 60-day money-back guarantee. Less than 1% of people use it, but it gave me, when I started, it gave me that security, and then I never thought of it again because I was feeling great. And Suzanne, my upline, she did such a good job of keeping my eyes on the non-scale victories. I wasn't obsessing about my weight or any of those things. I just was thinking about those non-scale victories, and over time, people started commenting, and that's when I knew that the products were working. So people do need to get on these products for more than 3 days, but you have to be the person that opens the door to that and squash those objections. Say, do I have to get something every month? Well, you don't have to. You get to. For 60 days, you get to be part of this. I'm going to keep walking with you just like I did, and I want you to have the results that you just told me that you wanted to have. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Do you want to do it now or do you want to do it this afternoon? You're going to close. And they say, well, I don't know. Let me think about it. Say, great. Why don't you think about it? And I'm going to call you tomorrow. Why don't you think about it? I'm going to message you tomorrow. Why don't you think about it? In the meantime, I'm going to send you a video. I want you to watch it. If that call the next day still ends without closing, I say to them, you know what, hon? Timing is everything. So the time's going to come when you are ready to tackle those things you told me about, and you know that I'm going to be here with Plexus, ready to help you. So I'm going to follow up with you in a week or so. Is that good? Remember, we're playing ball. I got to ask questions. I have to get a call to action going. And they are going to say, well, sure, of course. A week later, I'll say, you missing your slim? You missing that active? I'm going to be reminding them of that really good experience. All right, here we go. After the challenge. One of the things that I learned from Sarah Robbins, if you ever followed her, listened to her, or read her book, she was so good at teaching people to say, what are you loving? She always kept it on this very positive note. And I encourage you to really take that on. It's okay if someone's going to say something negative. It's normal, and we can always turn it around. But let's get them focusing on the positive. So one of the ways you can follow up is, what would you say like your biggest positive moment was? Like, what was your biggest takeaway? And then it's okay to also ask them this. If you think that your 3-day challenge pack or page could actually kind of be amped up, if you feel like it's missing something, go to the people that participated and say, what would be one thing that you would have loved to have experienced? What would be something I could do to serve more people in the future? Say that. What could I do to make it the best for the next people that are coming in? And let them have their say, and let them know that it's going to be making a difference for people in the future. So these are great conversations to be having. Now, after the 3-day challenge, you're going to give them, this is a little bit of a muddy water for me, because some people are going to send someone the instructions for signing up. And that's okay. It's okay to send someone instructions. But here's the thing. If I tell my teenage son instructions, like I sent him a graphic with instructions for how to make his bed, I just don't feel so comfortable that it's going to happen. I feel like it might happen, but maybe like 4 or 5 days later, and I'm not interested in a bed made 4 or 5 days later. I want it made today. So if you are the kind of person that wants to get it closed out so that there is no more room for hesitancy, no more room for objections to come out, then let's just make this happen. If you want them signed up, get on the phone. Hey, sister, let's do this. And you're going to walk through it, signing up with them. You can find the best way to do this. Meet with them. Whatever you have to do to be connected with them. Otherwise, you have left it in their court and you have lost all control. And that ain't good. So all together, make sure you have the Renew You Welcome Pack picture saved in your phone so that that's easy for you to grab so you can tell them what's in it. Make sure that you've created a regimen for them based on those questions that you asked them at the beginning. I tell them to make it the screensaver on their phone. I say, take that regimen, make it the screensaver on your phone so you have all accountability. And I say, look, you can do anything for 3 days. It's just 3 days. So I don't want any excuses. I want 100% dead on commitment and consistency. And I don't feel ashamed doing that. And I'll tell you why. I learned this over time, especially when I hired a personal trainer. I needed someone to be strong with me. I needed someone to tell me what to do. I enjoyed it and I wanted it, and it allowed me to have success. I don't want someone to be weak and let me just make my own choices. I need someone to say, I believe in you. You can do this. Now let's do it. And it's so empowering, and I want you guys to do that in confidence for the people that say yes to you about this 3-day challenge. So what about questions? Anybody got some questions for me about this?
Before you go on to questions, first of all, the comments have been outstanding, Jen. This has been such a great call for so many people. So just a FYI for you, in case you were wondering, because we were trying to answer the chats for you. I do want to let everybody know, as Jennifer mentioned, if you have a current 3-day challenge, we put an expiration date on there. Your expiration is March 1st. March 1st is the expiration date if you have a 3-day challenge in your hot little hands. Is everybody good with that? I just want to make sure, because we had several questions even after you asked that. Okay, good. So I did see a question, Jen, asking, how do you keep track of people's goals? Like when they tell you, you know, like, hey, I want to do this or that during the 3-day or with my health. What are you, notebook or using an app?
Okay, so I'm like the pencil paper kind of girl. Like I don't even know how to use Excel. I have their names listed down, pencil. I write goals, and then I write water graphic, and then I write inspirational quote. I write everything I know I'm going to do for day 1, day 2, day 3. And when I've done it, I put a check mark, and I might write their goals there. It's old school, but it's working for me. And when I know that I'm doing this with them, I know I'm going to get the results. The other thing I wish I would have said to you guys is on that 3-day challenge page that you're running, you guys have so many incredible opportunities. This is a whole conversation about where are your sources of strength? Who are the people in your life that hold you accountable? This is something that you get them doing as an activity on your 3-day challenge page. And here's the best part. Do your 3-day challenges weekly or bi-weekly on the same page. Do it on the same page. So now I've been doing this so long, there's almost 1,500 people on there. And you might say, well, what about those people from the first week? Aren't they annoyed? Well, maybe if they are, they can take themselves off. But personally, they're getting exposure after exposure after exposure, seeing success, seeing the excitement, seeing the connection. I think I'm building belief for them. So that's just a little tip for you on the side. Okay, question.
That was a good tip, and you answered someone's question in saying that. So well done. Do you have any, do you have live testimonies on your 3-day challenge?
Well, we did put actual testimonies that people wrote up for me. We haven't done live testimonies on there, and I'm not sure why. Maybe you just gave me a suggestion.
Okay, get the question again. Yes, all of the 3-day challenges expire on March 1st. March 1st, and they are only good for the Renew You welcome packs and combos, which will be available past the Renew You challenge itself. Okay. How do you get more interaction if your group is quiet?
Okay. First thing I would say to you is this. You need to look and see if you have a very strong call to action in the post. Like if you're asking somebody at the top of the post, they have to know that there's a question there. What I love about doing post on a laptop is it allows you to highlight and make certain parts of your post bold or italics. So that's the first part. Like, is it just so many things and they're not really seeing what they're supposed to do to interact with it? The second thing I would say to you is this: energy. The energy that you put off is the energy they give back. So if you are excited, if you're doing this, if you're pumped up, they're going to be. The other thing I would tell you is don't try to run this just by yourself all alone. I want as many other people. I have other diamonds that we all use this page. Why? Because I want as many people commenting, I felt like the lean tasted like a milkshake. And that Slim just was so darling. I want everybody commenting all these incredible things so that everybody, it's like this group mentality of best thing ever. That's what I want. Am I just too weird for this? You asked me, right? You like weird.
Nope, you've met all my wildest expectations for this call. And I didn't even know you had a Pinterest voice. So, I love that. Okay, next question is, what do you say if someone says they don't feel any different?
It's so funny because no one ever says that to me. I don't even give them the opportunity. I'll plant little things like, hey, was there a time today that you didn't eat as much as you normally would? Or did you notice that you drank more water? If they say no, I'll be like, why not? I might have a control problem, but if someone said, I would do everything I could to not get them to have the opportunity to say that. But if they say, I didn't notice any different, then I would say, well, can I ask you some questions? And I would ask everything I could think of. Do you usually late night snack, and did you not? I would think of things to ask them, because I know when I first started, I kind of had that same, I don't know if it's really working. And I needed Suzanne to say to me, well, how are you sleeping? Or are you feeling like you're getting up easier? Or how are you with your kids? Or how is your relationship with your husband? Do you feel like your mood's better? I needed her to ask me those questions because we just have blind spots. We all have blind spots, and other people can come in and help us to see what the truth is. So maybe, did you notice you crave something healthier? If they're just like, nope, 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 here's what I'm going to tell you. The timing for them is off. They are not ready for this. And I might even say, why did you do the 3-day challenge? Like, I want to know. And if they can share, usually it's almost like coaching. You're asking the question to dig. People are afraid to have hope for something. So it's easy to say, didn't work, I'm going to shut that door, and then I don't have to hope. But we are ambassadors of hope. We are ambassadors of health and happiness. And so it's our job to open people's eyes to what this could be. Because if you love Plexus, if Plexus is something important to you, you know that it's changed your life. You know that it's changed the way that you feel, and it might have changed your life financially. And of course, we're going to bring people into that. Of course. So that's why I'm going to say, get that person to be, have their eyes open to hope.
Excellent. Well, next question, since you're taking questions. Have you ever had anybody say like they don't like the taste of the product or the pink drink? Somebody else commented that someone says that her customer says it's bothering her stomach.
Okay, if they didn't like the taste, of course we can come up with all sorts of ideas. Mix it with the active, put it over ice, use bubbly water with it, turn it into a popsicle, add lemon juice, put it in your smoothie. You can come up, I actually had a woman that didn't love the taste of the Slim, and so she would mix it with whole milk Greek yogurt, like something weird. And I was like, that's on you, lady. I don't even know. But anyhow, in fact, she still uses it. But the point is, you can easily help someone that doesn't love the taste. Now, if someone says it's upsetting my stomach, I'm going to try to say this as, Chris Reed, I'm going to be as compliant as possible.
You're going to be as general as possible.
As general as possible. I'm going to say, sometimes a body that's in desperate need for balance is going to have sometimes.
Just stick it out, sister. That's what we're going to say. Sometimes we hear that.
Sometimes we hear that, but it's a good sign. It means that it's working. How about that?
There you go. Amen. Also, they can have half, you can reduce it by half. You can put more water in it. There's a lot of, I love the whole yogurt. You told people you weren't going to tell people I mix my Slim with my yogurt. Thanks a lot, Jen. I'm just kidding. That is not me. That makes my stomach hurt. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think we are good. Now, ladies, there are always gentlemen too. There are always going to be people that have various things with the product. I mean, like everybody's body responds differently. Okay, body responds differently. Check with your group. Check with your experienced Diamond upline. They have lots of tips and tricks for you. In terms of like, here's something that you can do. Absolutely mixing like Slim with lemon or ginger or, sparkling water or orange juice or I don't know. There's lots of options. It really just depends on whether the person is really wanting to make a change, obviously, right? Like, if I could fix that for you, is that something you would want to know about, right? Because sometimes, you got to check that out too. Okay, someone also suggested switching from HC to microbiome, and I bet the opposite is true. You could also switch from microbiome to HC to see if one of those is better than the other. So, all right, Jen, I know these good people would like to, nobody is getting off the call, just for the record, but I know they would like to be able to get off at some point. So for those of you listening, we just put up a nice little 3-question survey or poll. If you could answer that poll, that helps us with our, it helps us just to keep track of the calls and making sure we're on the right track with them. But Jennifer, wow. That's all I have to say. Wow. Did you not get out of the park, sister? That was so action-packed. You guys will get a link to that. Aren't you excited that you will get a link to that? Like, this is going to knock your socks off. And as Jennifer mentioned, this is the thing. It is the thing. This whole business was built on something very, very similar to these 3-day challenge packs. That was really the whole point of bringing them back. And if the more you use them, the more you will see success. Isn't that true, Jennifer?
Yes, and I think I'm on person 25, getting them into these groups, and every one of them closes. I just think it's the psychology behind it. So do it.
There you go. So with our call, we're going to end with that. That's her advice. Do it.
Do it. Do it.
All right, Jennifer, thanks so much. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, thank you, Jetty, for getting that going for us. I know that some of you were having technical difficulties. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what was going on. Slow internet, I mean. Listen to me, I sound like my mother. Is your computer slow? Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to ask you guys, what part resonated with you the most? Let's see. There. I had to get my Zoom looking like I'm used to. Tell me what part of that video resonated the most. I took some notes myself, so.
Do you want us to just unmute and talk?
Sure.
Okay, I got on late, but the one thing that literally, I don't know why I never thought of this, but the part where she said, asking, I wrote it down so I can say it exactly, sources of strength, who hold you accountable, like asking them that question, I was like, why? And I was a social worker. Like, we talk about strengths all the time. Like, hello. Yeah.
I wrote that down too. I was like, whoa.
I know, right? And then the other thing that was genius to me was that she tells people to make their product regimen their screensaver. I have never thought of that in 7 years of doing this. I'm like, people look at their phone more than they look at their husbands or wives. So, like, why would you? I mean, I tell them to set alarms to take their products, but the screensaver thing, I was like, boom.
Yep. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share? Jan said the part about just do it and get over yourself and invite people. I love that. Her psychology behind a lot of the stuff that she's done. The last time that remember that time she jumped on a call when I was gonna do a call about this topic, and she happened to answer me in the middle of it and said, I'll just jump on there right now. I studied a lot of that. I studied that call again because her easygoing style and people coupled with people's easily distracted. People are very easily distracted these days. I mean, I can literally have an Amazon order ready to place and in 2 days be like, where my dang toilet paper? And I'd be like, wait, did I actually? Oh, I didn't even complete the order. Like that. And, I literally have the stuff in the cart doing all the things, and whatever happens, I have to retrace. Do I remember the address coming up? Do I remember? That doesn't happen on Amazon anymore because I have it set up to where I don't have to even do that. But that's how distracted you can be, is you have to set it up to where all you have to do is go click. So you have to keep that in mind with people, and it's a different world that we live in. And I'm just going to put this out there. The world of thank you notes, the world of old school communication, and I'm not going to say it wouldn't be heartfelt accepted from someone if you did do that, but my mother's world of communicating and what bothers people is not the same world we live in. When people say, hey girl, did you get that? I think, oh, I totally meant to. I think it all the time, 4 or 5 times a day. Of course, I know that mine may be higher than the average because I have people coming at me from every direction asking me if have you this, have you that. But most of the time, and I would say literally 90% of the time, I'm thinking, oh, I don't think would you stop asking me that? It's a very rare situation where I think, would you stop? It's usually, oh my gosh, yeah. And then I might say something like, oh, doing it right now, or I'm just giving you some ideas of what people might say to you, or yeah, whatever, or they might even ghost you or leave you on red is what my kids say, I think. Leave you on, like, they may not say anything right away because they may be trying to get, that may be actually what happened last time. The last time you talked to them, they read something you said, they left you on that. But there are so many, like, literally, if I were to sit here and give you a challenge to list 1,000 reasons why somebody might leave you on red, leave you on seen, I bet you could easily come up with 100 right off the bat. 100 reasons. They were checking out at the grocery store when they looked at their phone. They were in traffic or at a traffic light when they looked at their phone. Their kid walked in the room. Somebody said something else to them. And because we have so many pop-up browsers open in our head all the time, other than like literally laying hands over a person and praying over them these days, that is just the norm. That is the way people are. So revisiting, like she said, come back and say, I didn't even follow up with you. Caca. That's the way people are. Like I said, that's just the way life is. People don't care. I would say it'd be very few and far between. And even if you joined Plexus around the same time I did, or even 2 years after I did, culture, not in Plexus, but culture in life has shifted tremendously since then. Social media is not even close to the same. Messenger is all completely different. We have the ability to voice text. We have the ability to voice message. Everything is completely different. So a lot of the social, what would have been maybe social rules back then, or I don't even believe in such a thing, but whatever would have been the social norm back then, it's not the same now. We're talking, that was, I would say 5 years ago, the social norms were different than they are now. And I would say in 5 more years, they will be even more distractionary. The world is set up as a big, fat distraction. By the way, I'm going to throw something out there and just say, I have a television, but I don't have any channels. I watch movies, or we have stuff on there that we can choose what we want to watch in that moment. But we figured this out sort of thinking we knew this a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. I was like, I think the brainwash machine is trying to brainwash us. And I was like, I'm not going to listen to their commercials, and I'm definitely not listening to the news. Got caught up in the news during the presidential race in 2016, and 2000. I was gonna say maybe 2000, maybe even 2015 some. But anyway, I got caught up and I started watching some, and I started realizing I was actually depressed, and I had not been depressed. So different. My life is so different getting rid of that stuff. So I'm really kind of talking to you about both sides of the coin here, for yourself and for the people that I loved what Aaron mentioned. Who is your source of strength and who holds you accountable? I will tell you that those are the kind of questions that make people stop and think. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever watched anything that Tony Robbins does. It may not be your cup of tea, but there is one thing that he does that resonates so strongly with me for 2 reasons. He uses taboo language, and he teaches. He doesn't use it and teach about it in the same sessions, but he teaches that if you use taboo language with someone, when you ask them a question, or while you're having a conversation, while you're trying to get to the bottom of something, it throws them off like a little bit, and they don't go to the same space in their brain that pulls up recorded information. Like what I've always told people is the part of your brain that answers, why are you always late to functions? And you pull up the part of your brain that tells people what you've always told people, or whatever question. I'm just trying to think of something that's kind of benign, but he will try to get to the bottom, the psychology behind why people haven't had the breakthrough that they're wanting to have. And the way he's doing it, like he does it from stage, and he'll pick up one person and do an intervention on them. And as he does this intervention, he will literally use the F-bomb and even cut them off and interrupt them while they're trying to give him a programmed answer. Because he'll be like, so why did you come here to this weekend? And they'll be like, well, because I want to get my eating habits under control. And he'll be like, the F you do, that's not what you came for. And they're like, offended. And then he'll smile at them, and they're like, and the psychology behind it is not to offend. The psychology is to make them go to a part of their brain that's not given the same insanity answer. Like what the lie they've believed, or what they've told themselves in order to cope, or whatever. And that, I watched, he had a Netflix documentary, and I watched it. And when I first watched it, I was like, ooh, he rubs me the wrong way. Like, there's no way I'd be in that audience. Oh my gosh. And then when I realized why he does it, I was like, okay, that's brilliant. Now, the reason I started talking about that, not because of taboo language, but because asking someone a question like, who's your source of strength and who holds you accountable, when all they really wanted to do was lose 2 pounds and see if they like the taste of your stuff, they go, why'd you ask me that? Like, there's something more to this. She believes, whoever asked, believes there's more to this than just me guzzling something and popping something and it being over with. It takes them into a different place in their brain to where they go, okay, well, that's a legitimate question, and they have to actually process an answer, because it's not a question you hear all the time. So when I heard Jennifer ask it when we were listening, I thought, oh, whether she's doing it for that reason or not, it's a brilliant way to make people really process truth about themselves. Like, yeah, I don't like accountability, maybe. Or who they should be turning to, that makes them think about, like, who would be a person I could trust to hold me accountable, or who would be a person that I would call on for a source of strength. You were about to say something, Erin? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, kind of right along the same lines as that question that was so valuable that I'm going to literally use with the 15 level ones that don't have an order this month, is that, shoot, I just lost it. Where did she say it? Oh, where she said, how can I improve my coaching with the next person? So she was saying, like, how can I improve the 3-day challenge, your experience with my next group of people? Because people really want to give their opinions out. They want to be heard. They want to know that you value what they have to offer. And it's also going to pull out and make them hopefully reflect on why I didn't show up. Because, like, if you look at her situation, like that 3-day challenge, like, how could they not show up to that? Like, the idea of sending a water graphic, the inspirational graphic, the strengths graphic, like all that kind of stuff that she does, like, how can you enhance that any better? You could drive to my house and shake up my Slim and pour it down my throat. That's the only way that you could enhance that better. But it's going to get them to see their ownership, hopefully. But I'm going to totally use that with my level ones that are like, I want this, Erin, I and had very personal things that I can go back and say, you said this. Like, I screenshot stuff. I've done this, I don't know how many times, and screenshotted stuff and sent it back to them, and they're like, why do you not do that to me? And I'm like, because that's what you signed up for. Like, you didn't come to some, like, softy Susie. Like, you know that I'm, like, if they know me, they know that I'm going to do that to them. You know what I mean? Because that's one of my strengths, because they know that I care, that there is compassion behind that. So don't be afraid to do that. That is legit, and people will respect you for that. When you literally are reminding them of their words, but you got to have those conversations with them. You can't just say, okay, let's get you signed up. Like, No, get to know them to where they feel heard.
You're making me think of too the whole mirror hologram thing. And I was thinking earlier today, I have several scenarios going on in my life where I know that there is some sort of mirror playing out, and it's a matter of me identifying that and lifting it up. Okay. And so, for example, the word ownership, I made a post the other day talking about, or maybe yesterday, the day before, talking about, I don't know how I worded it, but in the actual comments, those of you who have read it will know what I'm talking about when I start talking about the fact that I did that live on Thursday night. And there's no one on here that I'm not talking about anybody that's on this Zoom tonight, but I had multiple people who have been with Plexus for 5-6 years, some of them as long as I have been with Plexus, who it was almost like they had been asleep and my video woke them up and they were like, oh yeah, I've been rustling around. I remember some of this information. Oh, okay. Yeah. Could you break that down for me? And they start sending me private messages. These are Plexus people. They weren't even on my team. It's people who used to come to my trainings when I would do something, say in Dallas or in Tulsa or something. And they all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, girl, can you break that down for me one more time? And I'm like, I just did. That's what I thought in my head. I just did. Them failing to show up for themselves, to take ownership over it themselves. It's not like I said, you need to go read the 185 books that I've read and then you'll get it. I just said, well, it's all there in the video. And then I finally had it happen to me enough that I realized there's something, this is a new season for me. I used to be all about gut health. I put it away because of compliance. I've dragged the box out and I'm dusting it off and blowing it off. And I'm going to go back there again. And what has happened is the same olds have come back out and they say, oh yeah, girl, in these 5 years you've been gone, or these 3 years you've been gone, or however long they think I've been gone from talking about gut health, they didn't do anything, is what they're basically telling me. They're like, I didn't read nothing or watch nothing or anything. And now that you're talking about it again, can you please give me the Cliff's Notes? And I'm like, no. I just did in the form of a video. And the reason I have to do that is for my own sanity, because I embodied for a while, I will save you. I can help you. I can make your life better. And I chased people down and I drugged the horses to the water. And I'm not doing that anymore. That's why I like Jennifer Leith's approach. First of all, 5 years ago, so I'm trying to think maybe, like when I was going to Tulsa, when I was going to Dallas, doing that kind of stuff all the time. 5 years ago, it was not mainstream. Yeah, it was not mainstream info. You couldn't find it anywhere. I pulled up something one time that said not to eat nightshade vegetables if you have a rheumatic disease. And it was literally a notation at the bottom of something. And I was like, I don't know what that means. I knew what rheumatic disease meant, sort of. And I was like, but what's a nightshade vegetable? And so literally I make a whole thing researching nightshade vegetables and why they're not good and all this. Okay, that was me finding a notation at the bottom of an article that had nothing useful in it. It was one tiny piece of information that I had dug and dug and dug, and I came across it and I was like, Mom, tell the dude that was my stepdad at the time, tell the dude, don't eat the nightshades. And she's like, okay, that's another one. Oh, good to know. What's a nightshade? Okay, that's very good. Okay, thank you for letting me know. When I take all the cumulative, scraggly pieces of things that I found over the years that I've compiled in my head, and for some reason, it's about the only things that are really stuck. Like I'm saying, they're really stuck there in a good way. I have recall that's almost instant recall on all of that information. I know because it was pertinent and I feel like it was a spiritual thing going on, right? But the ownership thing for people right now, this is what, I know my post was about, it's time to wake up. It's time for everybody to wake up. We can baby them in the way that Jennifer described. That's not babying them. That is like, come on, girl, I'm holding your hand. We can do this. But we're not going to baby them and be like, you didn't even this, and you didn't, and you're definitely not going to do that in your head if somebody's not doing the things. That's a move on for now. I'm giving you my feeling on it. You may feel differently. I'm telling you my honest truth. Then I will be honest with you about something else too, because I'm sitting here. I just now looked down and saw Heather Grenier. I don't see her. I just see her name. And I have to say that there's definitely two sides to what I'm saying here, because I know that she kept reaching out to Krista Deary, and this stuff saved Krista Deary. Our product saved Krista Deary's sanity amongst possibly her life, depending on how you look at it. And so I'm not saying not to continue, but I'm saying it's wake up time. I believe that's the season that we are in. It's time for people to wake up. And if I believe some of us position ourselves, me included, for a while, sort of had ourselves, the tone and the positioning of ourselves, a little bit defensive, butthurt. People who have ignored us, and we actually know what'll help get them well, and people feel that. I think we need to reposition. It doesn't have to be like expertise. It doesn't have to be position yourself as an expert. I've gone back to that because I got a spiritual, you're supposed to do that again, girl. Get in there. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to do that. But I would encourage you, actually, unless God's telling you to do that, not to do that. I would encourage you to embrace the Jennifer Leith that you have living inside your heart somewhere, or something like that. I'm not telling you to copy anybody, trust me. But the casual, you're really speaking to the distraction culture when you're just like, hey, I'm back. Let's go. Come on. I forgot to follow up with you. Forgive me. Let's do this. I love the way that she handles it. She doesn't get all upset at herself. She doesn't get upset at the person for not responding. We all understand each other, and that some people started being distracted quicker than we were, to be honest with you. I think the younger they are, the easier they're distracted, right? So, well, I'm not speaking that on anybody. I hope you guys are following what I'm saying. Okay. Couple things I felt like I was supposed to share. I'll make this quick. If somebody has questions about what I'm about to say, make sure and write them down and message me. But last week I went to a meeting on Tuesday night when we normally would have had a Zoom call, and I told you guys instead to watch one of the corporately sponsored or other events that were going on that night. Well, that night I went with my friend whose husband had basically, his platelet counts had gone almost to zero over and over. He had almost died during Christmas multiple times, and he was in his 40s. And we had prayed over him. Things got better for a while. But I knew his problem was connected to mold. But for some reason, unlocking the whole thing just wasn't seeming to happen. His wife is my friend. She followed, she was following intuitively. Someone at work told her she should check out this, basically a naturopath. Well, this naturopath did, I'm not sure that that's what I think she's considered naturopath. I'm not sure. I may have that wrong, but she did what they call muscle testing on him, which is basically you hold something in your hand, a vial that says a particular nutrient, and you ask your body if that's good for you or not. It's depending on how you look at it. I would say it's Holy Spirit. She presents it as science. Either way, she was using frequency to fix it. So if somebody's having an inflammatory response, she demonstrated it for us. We just went to watch this demonstrate. I thought I was going to something about allergies. I had no idea. I get there and I'm like, huh, frequency, of course. It was called NAET. I'm not sure what all that stands for, but I will tell you this. Those of you who have whole tones, if you struggle mentally or physically, I encourage you to look up each one to see what it is specified for, because he talks about it in his book or in videos. So if you're having a particular problem that you would like a whole tone aimed at, you would want to pick the right whole tone, the right frequency, if that makes sense. That stuff makes some people uncomfortable. I am no longer even sort of, I haven't been for 2 or 3 years, even sort of uncomfortable with it, because it's science, if nothing else. It is science. We are made up of frequency. Everything around us is frequency. So if it makes you uncomfortable, you should probably ask Holy Spirit if it should make you uncomfortable, or if it's just something that you've been told to be freaked out about. Now, I felt like I was supposed to tell that story. NAET. I don't know what it stands for. I think I looked it up maybe, but I can't even think what it stands for. It's a particular person's take on muscle testing and frequency healing, basically. And they use this, the lady used this chiropractic massage gun that had double head on it, and put it on either side of the person's spine and goes bloop, 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 bloop down their back. And I was like, in my mind, she said she was correcting maybe an allergy. And it was like, while you're holding whatever it is in your hand that you supposedly have a reaction to, and it was almost like it was telling your body, no, 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 or recalibrate or reset or whatever. No, we're not going to react to that anymore. So weird. A few years ago, I would have been like, okay, hocus pocus. But I walked in, I saw my friend's husband, whose platelet count had been at 0, and he had fallen around Christmas time, and almost his whole back, from his whole entire back where his ribs are, turned completely black. And he was very sick, and he looked like a different person. And he had only been doing this treatment, like his first one had been 5 days before when I walked in, and he looked like he was alive again. And I was like, wow. So if you see me ever talking about, if you ever see me trying to shuck loose some brainwash off of people, it's about thinking that pharmaceuticals are legit and biblical, but being like, girl, don't you aim that frequency at me, while they listen to a radio anyway. Frequency is all around us. It's everywhere. And so you should be picking wisely what you listen to. I just say it like that. Frequency wise. Okay. One last thing is, hope. When she started talking about hope, I already had written down that I was supposed to break disappointment off of some of you tonight. I don't know who it is, but I think at any given time, it could be any of us, right? And so I'm going to pray over that really quick. I think my song went off. Yeah. I'm going to pray over disappointment. I'm going to also refresh those of you who may not have ever heard me talk about remove something and replace it with something. You've heard me talk about it when I talk about 3-chord strands, when we talk about, and also when we talk about pinning something to yourself. Like I usually have worded it in the past to get your brain thinking. I've worded it in the past like loosing something from your soul and replacing it with something else. So whatever it is that you're wanting to get rid of, if you've never heard the word loose in that way, trust me, it's an okay way to use the word loose. Or don't trust me, you can look it up. I should say it like that. Trust me to go look it up. So if you want disappointment gone, right now, I felt God tell me I was supposed to speak out to break it off of you. So I'm going to take authority right now. And in Jesus' mighty name, I break off the spirit of disappointment It has to go. It cannot stay. And I want you to picture a spirit of hope encased in a beautiful bubble coming in, almost like, in The Wizard of Oz, when Glinda comes in, I want you to see hope looking like sparkles inside of a bubble. And I want you to let it land on the top of your head. It's not going to pop the bubble. It's just going to let you into the bubble. Filled with hope. God, we just fill us right now with the spirit of hope. We don't want to have any kind of contractual agreement with the spirit of disappointment. God, right now, we have no agreements with the spirit of death. We come out of agreement with any spirit of death. And God, we pin to ourselves spirit of life, everlasting, and dunamis power, and everlasting. The word that came to me earlier today was, well, that would be hope too, I would say. Hope. Life. I want you to just resonate in that for just a second. If you can believe that by popping a pill in your mouth and swallowing it with water, that your life could change, it shouldn't be hard to believe that the mighty hand of God could come on you right now and make a significant change in your life. We've been conditioned to believe that it might come in through a pill. I don't know where that ever started. But I see it all the time happen supernaturally in an instant. And just embrace it. Say, God, I embrace that. I embrace the spirit of hope. God, if there's something I need to repent for, lots of times when you've had a spirit of disappointment, you've said things and agreed with things that are not true about God. So if you need to repent for those things, I had a person share with me today something about previously with her husband, and she said she's like, everything's different now, but it seems like we can't. I can't remember what her words were, but she couldn't. Contracts kept failing. New work for him kept failing, and I said, I think for some reason, I think it's something you're saying over him. I was like, I don't know him, but I think it's something you're saying over him. I said, does it resonate with you that maybe you're saying something like he's undeserving, can't be trusted, something like that? And she was like she had swallowed. She's like, yeah. She's like, it's almost a knee-jerk reaction to say he's not a man of his word. She said, but that was for 2 years, everything has been different. He is a man of his word. And I was like, well, girl, you got a contract with the devil. You need to unsign that document. You're just giving him power in your life that he wouldn't have. So your words, the very first time I ever heard this concept, I remember just being like, my goodness. Also, I believe I'm supposed to break rage off of somebody tonight. You don't have to say it's you, but rage. I just felt that very strongly. So right now, God, I just break off rage. I feel like it's almost closet rage, like maybe the people you work with don't know about it, but it's a home type rage, or you save it for somebody special. So I just say right now, in Jesus' name, we don't have agreements with rage. Rage is not our source of power. Right? Sometimes we can confuse those, especially as women. We're coming into a season where women are going to be really elevated, and we need to learn that we have power, and it does not come with rage. It does not come with manipulation, not the true source of power. I'm not saying you can't like shift your weight around and get your way a few times, but that is inviting the enemy in. So right now, in Jesus' name, I just break off rage, like yelling, rage, anger, and just, and it feels like it's the same and nothing. And I just say, in Jesus' name, clean slate, brand new, start from right now. You don't have to even beat yourself up about any of it. You don't need to go through like you don't have to go through a 10-month grieving process for all the things. You can just be like, that was me. And one night I was on a crazy plexus call and it lifted because I quit my agreement with it. I have no agreements with rage in Jesus' name. God, teach me about the true source of power, which is, okay, so we do not have a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. There used to be a video that I loved about this topic that was talking about false spices and how we substitute when we don't know how to move in power. For example, we don't know how to move in power, so instead we say we force our hand on people. We feel like, and usually it comes from a place of feeling powerless. Ragers usually feel like they don't have power. And so in Jesus' name right now, let God show you. I just pray that God would show you where true power comes from and that you have a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. And if you need to, look up some scriptures that what you identify with about power, true power. So much power in our words, life and death specifically. And you can imagine if you're raging, that's definitely not the power of life. So right now we just break all contractual agreements in the spirit with rage, with anger, with bitterness. We just repent for those things, God. We know that that's not truly how you intend. And God, we just ask that you begin to reveal to us every piece of our true source of power. Like literally when we feel that, if we feel that temptation come back on us, that we will stop ourselves. Literally hush your own mouth. Like just be like, I felt that coming on. I'm going to pinch my lips until I can get somewhere, gather my thoughts, and look up something helpful. Pray. Speak life. Put a note under the mattress. Whatever you need to do. I'm talking about, I don't know those of you who've ever heard me talk about putting scripture under the mattress. If your marriage is not what you wish, if you have a relationship that's not what you wish, speaking out the word of God over those situations. And I'm going to tell you too, if you have an accountability partner, if the person who holds you accountable is not currently holding you accountable to your words, do a challenge together and tell them, look, I want to be accountable to my words. I want to be accountable. I don't want to be a complainer. I don't want to be a whiner. That seemed to be how I coped in the past, but it's part of my past. And finding maybe just one person where you can do an accountability challenge with them and say, look, for one whole day, we're going to start off one whole day. We're not going to say anything negative to anyone about anyone. And then you turn it into one whole week. And if you've ever heard of shape-shifting movies who show like somebody who was one thing and then they become another, you will watch your life shape-shift out of a cocoon and you will sprout wings. And you're doing it with the frequency. In the beginning, God was the Word, and the Word was God. You think any of that might have anything to do with frequency? He spoke, and there was. He spoke, and there was. He spoke, and there was. And he made you the same. So you speak, and there is. And I'm going to tell you right now, you look around your life and there's evidence of it everywhere. The good, the bad, the ugly, the insane, whatever it is, you probably spoke about it at some point. I told Jetty just earlier tonight, I said, that's one thing I about have figured out. Many of you know I sat with him in a restaurant August of 2018 and said, you know what I think? I think our guest house is going to be the premier reason that people come to Ardmore, Oklahoma. And we're just kind of grinning. And I was like, I actually believe it. I don't know why I do, but I do. And sure enough, right? I mean, it sat there. Here's another thing too. It sat there for a year empty. Do you think that didn't make me think I might be a little nuts? But then out of the blue, I couldn't have been more surprised. Y'all were on that Zoom so a lot of you were on the Zoom when I was like, y'all, some blogger picked this up. And then it went from a blogger to Oprah Magazine, to Good Housekeeping, to Martha Stewart, to Tulsa News, and Fox and Friends, and all this stuff. And it's like, now, did I manifest that? Girl, I don't know. I have no idea how all that, I don't know if that's exactly the way chronologically that it worked, that I manifested it. But I can tell you this, had I been like, this place is and it's just gathering up a bunch of junk, and we need to da-da-da-da-da. If I had turned it into a complain fest or a rage fest or anything else, I can promise you, I would bet you anything, it would not have manifested the way it did. It's all our words. Are y'all hot? Got hot suddenly earlier. So, okay. May the Holy Spirit fire fall on everything we talked about tonight. Thank you guys for hopping on here. This was almost a 2-hour call. If anybody has any questions about anything that we talked about tonight, don't hesitate to reach out. And I ask you tonight, before we hang up, I'd love for you to write down and just share it with yourself. It's not for me. Who's your source of strength and who holds you accountable? Uh-oh. I don't know. What's going on? Is something wrong again? Sorry.
I think her and KK are still not feeling well.
Okay.
She's obviously not on here tonight, so.
Yeah, okay. That's true.
Still not well.
So let's just lift up the whole group over there. God, right now, that if there is any kind of spiritual attack coming against them, God, right now, we just intercede for them. God, we come in belief, speaking life. We say no spirit of darkness of any kind, no spirit of sickness, disease, death can come against them. In Jesus' name, God, that they would have a spirit of life everlasting, of truth, a wellness, a wealth of wellness that would wash over their whole household. Like filling it with water, filling their house with water. I'm seeing that. Filling their house with water and literally cleansing it, leaving nothing that doesn't resonate with you, Lord. Yes, thank you, Jesus. Yeah, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Okay, I'm going to close this out so the video doesn't get any longer. They take long enough to load. Yeah, what are you guys' thoughts? Do you think I should schedule a 3-day challenge? That's the last question I'm going to ask. Yeah? Okay. So Jetty and I will talk about that tonight. We will get one on the books and let you guys know. We'll make sure that it's far enough out that everyone can message people and they can get their products in. Does that make sense? So if you look and the date is several days out, I mean, I could set it up and start one as early as tomorrow, but that wouldn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? So if it's several days out, that would be the reason why. But the other thing that you need to know is if it's several days out, the moment I post it, you need to start, because shipping for people. Okay. So the moment I post it, I'm going to try to make it to where the moment I post it, we have exactly that many days between that people would be able to, you'd be able to reach out to 5 or 10 people that day. Okay, go ahead, Graciela.
Okay, so do you think it'd be a good idea if we order some of the 3-day challenge, like, locally for people around here? Because sometimes, I mean, you can order, I don't know, some sort of bulk, or maybe just the 5 of them, that it's whatever, that we can get. So just to have it handy, like, if, some people cannot turn off when you say, oh, they have to, or you have to order it. So, I mean, that's what I have noticed, that some people cannot, I had to deal with the, shipping and stuff like that. It's kind of, turn them off?
Stop.
So some people, well, like what Jennifer said that she does is she orders it through her back office and has it shipped straight to them. That way it would work for local or not local. She has them PayPal or Venmo her. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but Messenger actually has a thing. If you have PayPal, you can actually request money or send money via Messenger on Facebook. I do it all the time on the yard sale sites and stuff. I don't do it on the yard sale sites. I do it through Messenger. It's a how you pay people. That's worth looking into. If you want to order them and keep them on hand, that's smart. It does cause you to be running around a little bit more. And depending on how you look at it, if people see you working really hard, they might be a little less likely to be interested in doing what you do, if that makes sense. So if you're like, look, give me your info, you PayPal me, that's the same concept, but you're not having to meet several people at the Walmart parking lot or them come to you or you come to them. I'm trying to help you work smarter and more attractively, if that makes sense, where people are more like, yeah, I could do that. I could, let somebody, I think she said $19.95. I'm not sure that covers shipping. So before you go out there offering that to everybody, you may want to get the full price on one. But feel free to look that up. Did that help answer your question, Graciela? Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to get one scheduled right now. We have a 60-day thing going on in the beauty group, but I can team up. I can double that up because it's just a 3-day thing that would happen in the middle of the 60-day thing. It wouldn't be a bad thing. In fact, lots of people might get going if we did do a 3-day thing. So I would love for you guys between now and whenever I set the date to get your prospect list ready so that you can do it. Becky, were you about to say something?
Yes, whenever you play the videos for us, all the verbiage of everything she's saying is in a chat.
Yes.
And it's really helpful because I can't take notes fast enough to write down. Here's what you need to say. I can't write that fast. It would be great to have that transcript, quite frankly, to be able to see that, because some of her verbiage in there is fabulous. And I was trying to take pictures with my cell phone, but taking a picture of a laptop screen doesn't necessarily make it legible. It'll be blurry.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So I don't know.
That link comes in your Train Me in the text messages you get the day after. So or the day of. So just click that link.
So I got that message today.
It has the transcript. I played it just off that link is what I played it.
When you turn that link on, it plays it exactly. We don't have anything fancy. Yeah. I thought the same thing, Becky, when I saw one the first time. I was like, how are they doing that? And then I got a link, and it's the replay. Oops,
I watched it.
Go ahead, Jan, go ahead.
I watched that link today that I got, and it didn't have that on there. It didn't have the...
I wonder if okay, I'm talking to Jetty now again. I wonder if it's because we have a Zoom account, like I host Zooms. Were you watching it on a phone, Jan, or on a computer?
Yeah, it was on my phone, so that was probably why.
Maybe that. Okay, that's what I think. Maybe it is. I kind of think it's that, because I feel like. Yeah, because I tried to watch it when I was, I've had my niece on Mondays and Tuesdays, and I was at school pickup this afternoon. It's when I was listening to it the first time today, and I'm sitting here going, it wasn't on there on my phone. It wasn't that I could see this transcript until tonight. So, oh yeah, you have to register to get all the notifications. When they do the Motivation Monday thing, you register. Or, I mean, you can register at any given time to get the Monday motivations. So, and that way on Tuesday, it's usually early in the day on Tuesday that they give you that link, and it's a replay, and it has the chat and the transcript. I like that. Yeah, that was good. Anybody else? Okay. Also, I'll share. I talked to Jennifer before tonight. I'll share some screen captures of some messages that she's sent to people. Also, if you use the word toolbox in my training pages, it will pull up in the search bar, I'm saying. If you type in toolbox, if you go to the butterfly page and type in toolbox, it will pull up where we've talked about this in the past, and Jennifer has written out notes that go over this whole concept again. So you might just be able to skim, read, and pull bullet points. You know, it might be easier than watching the replay on this particular topic is what I'm saying. So, okay. Okay. I feel like that's everything we need to cover tonight. Okay, you guys have a blessed night. Talk to you next week. Don't forget February 1st or February 1st or 3rd. I don't know. I will be starting a new training, something in the butterfly page. Night, guys.